Hey, Jamie from Country Diggers here. I went out detecting today, but I found some good stuff at the end, and I'm going to put the video in order. So the good stuff will be at the end, so watch it all. Y'all, Jamie here with Country Diggers. Today is a cool day. I got tired of not being able to do this when it was hot. So hopefully I won't see no snakes. But I'm gonna detect in my grandparents' pasture, and next to this right here was a chicken house right here. It started like right over there, and it come all the way down to way over there, and you can see it's not down now. The wind and time has knocked it completely down. But anyway, I'm going to detect beside it and we'll see what we find. Alright, first target a bunch of crappy tin. Probably come off the chicken house roof somewhere or the walls. But a bunch of crappy tin. A handful anyway. Alright, all this crappy tin I find is going right here on this block. And we'll see what else we can find. Alright, next we have 2 nails. And believe it or not, in all these years I've been digging, I've never found a square nail. So that would be a bucket lister for me, I guess. Never found a square nail. Would like to find one. But I always find just regular nails. Alright. Alright, y'all. Next target was a pull tab. You know, my mom said, you ain't gonna find nothing down here. Because my grandparents lived through the Depression. And they instilled in their kids to not waste anything. And if we find stuff like this, then it's modern trash, probably from us being meaning grandkids being out here. But that does have some writing on it right there. Let me see what it says. Alright, looks like it says, I bet you that was Anheuser-Busch is what I believe it was. But yeah, this field was used for, in my grandparents' day, they planted from right out there to the road out here, and to those trees right there, those trees were planted back in the 80s. But from the road to out here to where the trees are was cotton. They picked cotton, grew and picked cotton. And then in my day, when I was a kid, it was corn. We'd come out here and gather up all the corn. And this whole thing was planted in corn. And out that way, it was potatoes from the trees right here all the way to our driveway down there was potatoes. And in the summertime, we'd have to gather the corn and the potatoes, and then we would have to shuck and silk the corn and peel the potatoes if we wanted them peeled, or store them in the chicken house, which was right here, and put 7 dust on them so that the rats and everything wouldn't get them, and they'd be good for the winter time. But yeah, I figured somebody would drop something out here, and my mama said no. They were careful not to drop anything, and if they did, they picked it up. But Yeah. Alright, there's the rest of that pull tab. There's a little little hay string, I guess, and a piece of whatever. But yeah, I am showing everything I dig, junk and good stuff, but there ain't been no good stuff yet. The realities of metal detecting. All right. I think I'd know now not to dispute what my mama says. That you ain't gonna find nothing out there. But did find that, and I've been finding junk. I just ain't finding no good stuff. You know, she said they didn't waste nothing. If they dropped something, if they knew they dropped something, they gonna pick it up. But you think I'd learn not to dispute her. Alright, I have a feeling all this tin like this blew off the chicken house when it did its thing and fell, and all the years of blowing, it took years for that thing to actually collapse. Took years, decades. But yeah, I have a feeling all that's off the chicken house, the roof and the walls. Alright, we got something a little different, not much, but a little. We got a little, it says citrus flavor is what I believe that's supposed to be, citrus flavor. Just a little, but not much different. And something right here, this little thing right here. I don't know what, maybe something off, I don't know. But anyway, I did do the yard out here years ago, and didn't find anything really. I found one 1966 dime, and that was it. And it was in the where they had the laundry thing going outside. So I don't know. Ooh, don't dispute your mother when she says something. Let me show you something real fast. This little tack right here must be made of high quality stuff, because all the other targets I pulled up, except that little citrus can, have been like 30s and 40s on the Simplex Ultra right here. 30s and 40s. This little thing was like 56, 57 right there. That little tack must be made of high quality metal. Alright. Alright, y'all, this is what I found today. All that crappy stuff. Alright. I'm going to continue doing this, but I won't get you back out unless I find something really good. Because that's all I've been finding, and not that much of it either. It's all, I reckon, in here. If I go in here with a metal detector, I won't be able to, I mean, your best bet to go right in here with is not with a metal detector, but just to start digging. And you'll probably just end up with chicken house tin. So, I don't know. But there's some insulators, big insulators from the electric fence and the electric gate that was up right in here. But I can't get them out. I can't get those off. All that wire stuff. Okay, but I'll get you back up if I find something else good. But if not, then that's it for the video today. Y'all, we got a bunch of land out here as far as the eye can see out there. And my best place has been the dump down off the bluff down there. And but something happened that messed my brain up. That huge timber rattlesnake down there that was at least 6 foot long and as big around as my leg. And I ain't going back down there till the coldest day in the winter. So we'll just leave off the dump for a while until the coldest days of the winter. Because if there's one of them like that down there, can you imagine a whole den of them like that big? That just got my brain messed up with that down there. All right. But if I don't get you back up, that's it. This was my grandparents' silo. They put grain and corn in it. And I think I remember when we had a bunch of potatoes one time. We put potatoes in there. I think. That's what I think. But you can see it's big in there. I ain't gonna get in there because there could be a sneaky snake in there. But it's big. I might can get right here and you can see how big it is. Okay. But yeah, there could be a sneaky snake in there and I don't want to get in there. There's a bunch of bee stuff in there. My grandpa had bees. And I guess he put his bee boxes in there too. All right. If you look close, that looks like a big old snake right there. Don't it? It does look like a snake, but I don't think it is. All right. This right here is a newer chicken house structure made from the old chicken house tin and wood. When the old chicken house, which is behind it, was no longer usable, we took the tin and the wood and built this one back in I think it was the early 90s, probably. We built this one. And it's gone down too. But, let me see. I don't want to get in there either. You don't know what's under that wood. But this was a little chicken coop right here. See this right here? This was the old chicken house. And that over there, let's see. That right there with the top on it right there, up there, was the corn bin that they put corn in. It was kind of a loft area where the corn would, they put the corn in and it would filter through down at the bottom. And so that's where they put the corn and grain to filter through for the chickens. And it just fell in. I reckon they built this back in, I don't know, Had to be 50s, 60s, maybe even 40s or 30s when they bought this part of the land from my great-great-grandfather. So it could have been in the 30s. I know my grandpa bought it from his dad, his parents, back in the 1930s to build a house. So it could be from the 1930s, I don't know. This chicken house could be. All right, a couple of old John Deere buckets right in there. I might take one. This one's got a hole, a crack in the bottom of it. So, but and this one's empty at least. And it says superior quality oil specially formulated for use in John Deere transmission and hydraulic systems. Provides, and I can't read the rest of it. But yeah, my grandpa has an old John Deere tractor. I'll show it to you in a minute. This one says something different on the back. Only genuine John Deere parts fit and wear like the originals, manufactured for Deere and Company, Moline, Illinois. It's got the address and printed in USA. These are in great shape, except for, you know, and they're empty. So I might take some. Yeah. All right. I just looked these up. These are from the 1970s. This one I looked up, and it is like, I seen $75 to $85 with it. Lowest was like 50 to 80 something dollars on it. This one was cheaper. It was like $30 to $50 on that one. So that's pretty good. And both of them empty too. I looked them up and seen what the empty one was. That's pretty good. But I ain't gonna sell them. Nope, nobody's gonna sell them. All right, I'll fix them up. Oh, this is cool. I just pulled that right out of there. That's a John Deere. That's some kind of a light, I reckon. It says heat something. And it says John Deere. I'll get that cleaned up. That'll be good. I like that. I think it's some kind of light or something. Oh, it says something on the back. Let me see. Well, it says John Deere, and I don't know what else. I'll have to clean it up, but that is neat. That is neat. All right. And I reckon that's it for today, y'all. I'm tired. All right. My grandpa's old John Deere tractor. Hey y'all, I'm back with the wrap up. Well, you know, don't dispute what your mama says. When she says there's nothing in the ground, then there ain't gonna be nothing in the ground. Instead, I found chicken house surface finds is what I found. So let's get started with those. First off, I got this. I left the other one in a safe place in case my cousins want one. So, you know how Paul loved John Deere, so I left it in a safer place. And this is a 1970s. And I'll read what it says on the bottom. I found it on the back, I found it, and I'll read it to you. The 1970s John Deere high guard transmission and hydraulic oil can. A superior quality oil specially formulated for use in John Deere transmission and hydraulic systems. Provides maximum reliability and performance, functions as a lubricant, coolant for transmission, final drive differential, and hydraulic systems. Also transmits hydraulic force for steering, braking, transmission, and equipment controls. This oil meets John Deere's specification JDM-J20A. So this is the 1970s, and any advice on how to get the rust off of this without messing up the writing on it would be much appreciated. And that's a nice one. All right. Now what this is a John Deere filter, and I can see John Deere up here, but I can't get anything else off of it. It's very, very faint, but I think it is a filter. And it says heat resistant up here in John Deere. It's got the deer right there. And I'm gonna put it in my little supersonic tank, and I call it supersonic tank. But I'm gonna put it in there and see if it'll clean it better, and maybe get all this right here off of it. So I'll put it in there tomorrow, and then I'll show it to you in a short if it cleans it good. And some information on it is, now the John Deere tractor, my grandpa's John Deere tractor, is a John Deere 4000 diesel. And they made those at 1969 to 1972. So that's what that is, I guess, 1969 to 1972. And the tractor, I'll give you some information on the 4000 diesel tractor. It's a row crop tractor built in Waterloo, Iowa. The 4000 was a high horsepower to weight tractor designed as a runner, using the same engine as the 4020, but being almost 1,000 pounds lighter. The 4000 could, in the same amount of time, pull a 4-bottom plow fast enough to cover the same acreage as a 4020 with a 5-bottom plow. The John Deere 4000 was also an economy tractor, providing the same power as the 4020 with fewer features and smaller rear axles. Okay, so there's just some information on the John Deere 4000. And my grandpa loved his John Deere tractor. And it is economy efficient because it lasted him until he died in 2000, I think. When did Paul die? 2006, I think. 2006. Or, yeah, I think so. 2006, something like that. And he was still, a few years before he died, he was still riding that tractor. But the thing about it now is it's hard to find parts to it. So it's it's not as efficient now. But anyway, hope you enjoyed. See you back soon.
Flying high, treasure seekers reaching for the sky. Unearthed relics hidden in the dark, graves of history ignite the spark. Metal detectors peeping through the night, antique bottles found in the light. Clumsy hands but spirits lift, friends united, hunting thrift, taken from time.